Welcome acolytes. Today I'm reacting to a video from Rev. Rev says they sue game journalists are targeting YouTube or criticize Sweet Baby Inc. So the situation of Sweet Baby Inc. right now, or the entire thing around that, is basically there are a lot of people that actually like game journalists, that actually like to enslave people and just want to get the money out of them where they can, abuse them where they can. And Sweet Baby Inc. was a pretty giant step forward for that. So, of course, gaming journalists actually are for it. And will I say that they are all? Yes. But let's hear what Rev has to say about it and let's start.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're going to be looking at a shift in the Gamergate situation where games journalists are now shifting their focus onto YouTubers. Now, one of the people doing this is the Kotaku contributor Alyssa, one of the people responsible for the main articles defending Sweet Baby Inc. She has made it very clear on Twitter recently that she's going to be shifting her focus onto YouTubers and will be making hit pieces about a select few content creators. Now, one of the people that is definitely the focus of this recent push is the content creator Melanie Mac. Now in this case, I think Alyssa is going to bite off more than she can chew because even the proposal of this article is getting major backlash. So you might be asking yourself,
and I'm going to be honest, happily, I am quite happy about it. Why? Because F them. I just despise shit like this. If you just, it's just so clearly a power grab that it's not even subtle or something like that. It's just so obvious. And clearly those people just don't give a fuck about you or me. They just want their money's worth. They just wanna you being a nice little sheep that follows them for no effing reason other than give money, give freaking money, give freaking money. That's all.
why would you do this? Why would you make this article knowing you're probably going to get bodied on social media for making it in the first place? Well, it's obvious. Kotaku is desperate. I mean, look at the Google trends of Kotaku from their start to current date. It is absolutely brutal. You can see in the early days, they're doing very well, making articles that had actually something to do with gaming. However, they exploded in popularity in 2014 when the Gamergate situation started, when they started making more politically leaning articles that were defending members of the industry that they were friends with. However, they continued this political push and it fell into irrelevancy, and so did Kotaku in the process, until they basically flatlined here over the past couple of years, only a heartbeat over complete irrelevancy.
And that's, in my opinion, by the way, good. They should get irrelevant. Why? Just because, well, you just know how I think about fucks like that. It's just, if they die tomorrow, it's fine. I don't care. It's well deserved, to be honest. Just don't do this shit. Just don't be an asshole, and most of the time it will be fine. But no, they just have to. They just have to do it, and it's just, I hope they get fucked.
And you can see, whether you want to call it Gamergate 2.0 or the continuation of the original Gamergate, this recent talk about Kotaku, all this nonsense going on in the last couple of weeks, all the attention they've gotten has resulted in nothing. This little blip on the map here is all the attention that they got out of this. They couldn't even rage bait people into clicking on these articles. I think a lot of the games journalists involved in this current situation and in the past thought they would relive the 2014 glory where everyone's going to be talking about these gaming journalists and their websites, and they're going to explode in popularity and they're going to end up back on national TV and things like that. But it just didn't play out that way. Now, why are we talking about these individuals and these potential hit pieces? Well, it starts with this recent news we talked about the other day, where the Kotaku editor-in-chief would resign after a new editorial edict that went into place. And what was that? Well, basically, management told Kotaku contributors to make more game guides and to stop making articles with political news and things like that. And of course, the natural response of these weirdos...
True as fuck. I'm all for it. Gonna be honest, I'm fully for it. It's just, in my opinion, obvious.
At Kotaku was to immediately resign. But one of the people who was also very upset about this was obviously Alyssa as a Kotaku contributor, saying the fact that leadership wanted to aggressively pivot what Kotaku does in the midst of a harassment campaign levied against me and the site for an original piece of reporting that was the second most read story for over a week is telling. And again, like I said last time, the fact that this was not the most read story on Kotaku is very odd, especially with all of the attention that was put on it, whether it was positive or negative. Well, of course, while she's ignored all these criticisms people have been launching, including her anti-white comments about people's age, things like that, she has decided to focus blame on other people and try to slander and...
I mean, is this even something that we have to at this point comment on? I mean, it's just the same shtick all over again. I just don't know if it's worth it to mention. No, I think it's worth it, because it always could be that there is someone new that doesn't know it, so just maybe repeat it. Yeah, okay, no, it's fine, yeah.
Attack them. So she made this very vague but not so vague tweet saying, "There's a story I've been simmering that I really want to pick back up again. If anyone has any connections to a prominent female Twitch streamer / gaming personality who leans very hard into Christianity and homophobia, DM me or email me at link in bio." And then it says down here, "I'm particularly interested in people who knew this person before their sharp rise in popularity." You can see the replies are turned off, so the only way to reach out is through these DMs or this link. And here's the thing. This whole thing feels very unprofessional. It's odd to me to see a journalist basically say to their followers, do my research for me and find some information. And also these kinds of posts and these threads asking for information, who is going to respond to this in good faith? The only people who...
And by the way, yes, factually, yes, nobody will respond to this with good faith. That's just bullshit. She shouldn't do it. But this is something that always happens. It's always exactly the same. You shouldn't get them, even think about, like thinking about them like normal thinking human beings. Because they are just not.
Who are going to provide any information are people who have a grudge against the focus of this tweet. But anyways, it became very obvious that she was referring to Melanie Mack. And as Mark Kern would point out here, this is not the first time there's been a little kerfluffle between these two people. So he says, Kotaku editor Alyssa has a weird grudge against Melanie Mack and wants to fight her. Now she has convinced Kotaku to let her write a hit piece on Melanie, calling out anyone with rumors for ammo. This is not journalism, it's anger and a power play. So here you can see this tweet that says, once again asking Melanie to join me in Creator Clash next year, where she's quoting a tweet from Melanie calling Kotaku gay. Now here's the thing, once again, the very tolerant...
Melanie Mack seems to be a sound girl. Nice.
People seeing someone call a company gay and responding with, I'm going to hit you, because Creator Clash, if you don't know, is a boxing event that features content creators. So that's what she's implying with this response here. And also, like, Creator Clash last year didn't even break even, so I don't think they're going to bring people like Alyssa, even though it'd be funny to see her in the ring. I don't think she's bringing any value to an event like that that's already struggling. But moving forward, I want to talk just for a minute about Mark Kern here. Mark Kern is someone, you can see his resume and his Twitter bio here. He is someone who is very, very experienced in the realm of the gaming industry and someone who is very well respected. However, he's also been extremely active in this current situation, talking about these game developers, pointing out the mistakes they're making, and also criticizing these games journalists. He's been doing a very good job at that. However, a lot of these games journalists and developers have been trying to lash out and attack him and try to discredit him by labeling someone who is very accomplished as some kind of irrelevant failure. You see this tweet from another journalist here saying Mark Kern is a failed games developer turned reactionary who wants to use the Sweet Baby Inc. coattails to reach popularity. And what's wilder is that he's achieving popularity with the exact crowd he wants. Bigoted gamers. And of course, just like every other brave journalist, the replies are turned off. Now, I find this very odd. I don't know what it is with people like this. They just can't wrap their heads around the possibility that maybe, just maybe, someone like Mark Kern talks about gaming, gamers in the gaming industry because he actually cares. Because he was someone who was involved with it for a long time. And maybe he actually cares to see the quality of these games, and he doesn't want to see it keep going down. And he cares about the needs and wants of gamers, and it's nice, it's actually a nice thing that he's using his platform and his voice to talk about these things as it's happening. But no, this person wants to label them as some kind of a clout chaser, which is always a very ironic thing for a gaming journalist to do. But of course, this whole thing about, being a failure, at least he was in the game. No matter what.
Yeah, it's simple. Some people just wanna do good stuff. Just don't effing stop it just because you're a freaking freak. It's fine. So, it's just fine if you're sometimes not in the middle of all the attention. Just let it go for once. You don't have to be in the middle of everything every second of the day. Couldn't you just be happy for someone that actually tries to do something good? No, you can't, because you're a freaking selfish man. Yeah. Okay.
But at least he was in the game and he had prominence, okay? You're just a random journalist. Like, I don't know where you have this audacity, but it's very strange to see you calling someone like Mark Kern irrelevant. But moving forward, Melanie Mac would quote that journalist saying, "Mark doesn't need to chase popularity. He's already achieved that from his accomplishments. He's actually passionate about gaming and is fighting back against a culture that is ruining everything. Gaming journos are the biggest clout."
Damn. Talking out of my heart. That's just... Exactly, yes.
Chasers, clout chasing reprobates. The projection is real, which is also summing up the rest of my thoughts on that previous tweet from the journalist. I mean, the idea of someone needing the popularity of talking about this current situation. Mark Kern does not need that to solidify the popularity he already achieved many years ago through his hard work. But moving forward, back to the original situation between Melanie and Alyssa, she would quote that vague tweet saying, "You could always just talk to me if you want, but it looks like you'd rather find people who don't like me to help you formulate some hate and lies to fit a narrative you've inevitably made up in your head for your own witch hunt." Now, of course, that is my main criticism of tweets like this. It's clear that anyone who's going to respond to that thread from Alyssa is going to be a bad actor. It's going to be someone who holds a grudge against Melanie or wants to kick her down a...
Yes. And that's it. And it's purely her fault also. No, I mean, not Melanie, what the fuck am I? I meant actually the otaku girl, if she gets hate for it, yes, or you respond. And Melanie is just... I mean, she's gonna get shit, but she's also a bit provocative, let's be honest here. She's freaking funny, to be honest, but she's also a bit provocative, so she's gonna get some shit. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I actually expect quite heavily that she just will freaking love it. She will love it. I assume, of course.
Peg, like, no disinterested person is going to respond to that in any sort of a way. It's only going to be people who are already mad at Melanie and are trying to attack her, slander her, or whatever. But moving forward, Alyssa would actually respond saying, "Hi Melanie, I would love a chance to talk to you. My email is in my bio if you want to reach out. I planned on sending one your way early next week as it's EOD for me. Thanks." Where Melanie would reply saying, "Judging by your tweet and lack of tagging me in it, your intentions appear to be in bad faith. But I sent an email, happy to chat." And there's a lot of people have already warned her, you should be very careful when you're talking to these journalists. I'm sure she can handle herself, but this is just a PSA in general. Don't talk to these journalists. We've seen how they try to twist the words of people that they're trying to talk to, whether it's from the Sweet Baby Ink Detected Discord channel or server. They try to give basically the worst interpretation of your words, and they will intentionally frame them poorly.
Yep. Yep, they will. Definitively, most of them will, and it's not even close. You're gonna get so bad interpretation about you, your words gonna get freaking spun around as if it's nothing, and you're gonna really get a bad time about it. It's just, in my opinion, it's not worth it to talk to journalists at this point. Except the only way I would actually talk to a journalist myself, if I ever get above 200 subs at a point, if that ever happens, and there is actually some freak accident that I'm gonna talk to game journalists, I'm gonna make a freaking contract that says, if you say anything untrue about me or lie about something, state a matter of fact about something that's clearly untrue, I can sue you. And I know it's not as easy or normal to actually word a contract like that, but that's what actually freaking Anwälte are for. So yeah, let's just,
even if it's very obvious that they're doing it. But anyways, it seems very clear that Alyssa got the approval for this article. Right here you can see she retweeted her response to Melanie, and then right after that made this tweet saying, Kotaku staff had a somewhat productive meeting with management. Expect news to continue coming from us, at least for now. Your support and your voices certainly helped, so thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't credit Hello Jen Glenn, the editor-in-chief that resigned, for seeing the tide shift and refusing to ride along with it. Her bravery is a huge part of why today went the way it did. Give her all the flowers and all the jobs. So it definitely seems very clear after this talk with their management that now they're going to be continuing their more political leaning articles instead of doing these game guides, which brought them success at the beginning of their company. But it seems like Alyssa, and as a result, really Kotaku in general, is going to continue going down this road. Their pride is in it. They've gone too far with this entire approach to how they do their articles, and they're basically stuck here. They're stuck a heartbeat above complete irrelevancy, and as we pointed out earlier in this video, despite everything that's been happening, all of the attention on Kotaku, it's still not even enough to rage bait click people into checking out their articles anymore. It's just not even good enough anymore. It doesn't work. But they're going to continue doing it because they are that obsessed with this really position they found themselves and created for themselves.
And I'm gonna be honest, yes, and it will continue. And you know why? Because they don't give a fuck. Either their politics win, or there is nothing they want to do. Because instead of actually doing the jobs, instead of actually doing that's what they are basically signed up for. Because let's be honest, if I hear Kotaku, or it was a long time ago when I heard Kotaku, I didn't hear politics, I heard gaming guides. Be it that they weren't that good, but I heard gaming guides. So now that they are that's politically charged, that's just not what I'm looking for. Because if I want political guides basically on YouTube, you can get this for free any time of the day. Way more and way more precise than actually Kotaku does, so yeah.
Tis a glad thing we rested when we did. Try not to get.
Oh, sorry.
And that is a political network that makes very biased articles to protect their friends in the industry, and that's pretty much it. And also to lash out at anyone who dares to criticize them.
Shit.
And in this case, they're now shifting that focus to some YouTubers who they believe are criticizing them. But for now, that's going to do it for this situation. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I mean,
Kotaku
Ref is always on point. He gives the freaking messages correctly, in my opinion. So that's that. I actually quite love it how he does this shtick. So, as it is, Acolytes, I hope you enjoyed it. Good night.